Cue theme music. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-dun-dun-dun. Da-da-dun-dun. Da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Back again. This is TV25 Sports, the voice of Haslett Wrestling. I am Jake, the Snake Birnbaum. We're here in Haslett. Haslett team, they're young. A few seniors and a bunch of freshmen. DeWitt, quite a few guys. Seeing some familiar faces. Should be an interesting night. I got a little lineup here. We're going to be working on beginning with some JV wrestlers and then bringing up the varsity match. We'll be starting tonight at varsity at the weight of 145 pounds. After that, we'll be at 152, 160, 171, 189, 215, 275, 103 pounds, 112 pounds, 119, 125, 130, 135, and 140. Like I said, young team. They've been having an okay year, so I hear. Has an invite early on. Had a few guys place. It's always a good thing to hear, placing at your home tournament. A little something, TV25. Best station in the nation. Bryan Town running the show. Can't get any better than Teabag Me Brown Town. TV25 Sports, always bringing you quality programming. Bringing you Haslett football, basketball, wrestling, volleyball, swimming, the whole kit and caboodle. You name it, we got it. Fencing? We don't got that. Soon we'll have a little man as known Pete Datema joining me. Pete, formerly wrestling for Haslett. He's a senior this year. Didn't come out for the team this year, missing a few of his homies. Nothing wrong with that. Pete, really good guy. Here we are, warming up. Guys are getting ready to go. We have flipped for who will have the odd or even matches. That doesn't mean a whole lot other than who gets to pick top, bottom, neutral, or defer in the second period. 3 periods in a wrestling match. All 2 minutes long. JV, we may be going with a 1-2-2. We'll see when they bring those guys up. New coach this year by the name of Bird. What, new? Bird? I thought that was the old coach. Well, Dick Bird, no longer coaching. Stepped down after many successful years. We have a Sam Bird now as our coach, taking over. Personally, I'm extremely excited about Sam Bird being here. He's always come in and worked with the team. And now stepping up to a official coaching position. Some of these assistant coaches, he's got both his boys. Conrad Bird, former quarterback for the Haslett Vikings. Joining me now, finally arriving. Thank good golly, Miss Molly, Pete Datema. Pete, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Jake?
I'm wonderful. I'm really glad that you made it.
Should be a good. Should be a pretty good match.
Pete, what do you know about this team? I don't know a whole lot. These guys are young.
Yeah, they're pretty young. They have some good leaders in Donald and Thomas and Larry McCormick.
Okay, those are all great guys. You can't go wrong with the big Don, Double D Don Onwaller, and Thomas. You know, I heard he pulled out. He was kind of throwing in the towel. He had a long, successful career and thinking about giving it up, and lo and behold, he's back in action, and his brother, Larry, can't go wrong. So.
Oh, they should. and if they had a few more players, they had quite a few injuries, so earlier in the off season, but should be pretty close.
Pete, wrestling underway. This is JV. We got Brandon Bulmer and Josh Molnar.
Nice double leg.
So let's talk about points here. Takedown, 2 points.
2 points for a takedown. You have them on their back for 5 seconds. It's 3 points.
Okay, that's near fall, right?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Okay, so Haslett now.
There's a nice half Nelson. He's on his back.
There you go. So now the ref is counting near fall. Once the back is past 45 degrees, we'll be counting near fall. Haslett now looking for the pin. This is textbook. Half Nelson, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
He needs to get back or he might get rolled over, but.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to spread those legs out. See how he's on his knees? He needs to, on his toes, chest to chest.
There.
I mean, thank you, ma'am. Haslett with their first JV match, getting the hand raise. There you go. You see good sportsmanship with the handshake of the opposing coach. Always a common thing to see on the mat. Here, Pete, if you gaze at the monitor, you're going to see the replay of the pin. You see shoulders flat on the back, and the ref with the call.
He has a leg right in the crotch. It's perfect position.
Not much to say about it other than he done good. Happy to see young kid wrestling hard. Next up, this is 135 pounds. Amal Naik. I'm going to assume he's from DeWitt, and Mike Hilker.
Tennis shoes, you don't see that very often nowadays. But this looks like
little rainbow.
Front headlock, yep. Perfect.
Little rainbow action, straight to the back. That was a good sprawl, which is what Haslett did to keep the.
He needs to get side, but now he has it. Should be pretty quick.
Again, good position by Haslett there.
Yep.
He's staying stretched out. As you see, with the headlock, he has the arm in there, which keeps it legal, and he's lifting it. Now he's going to lift the head.
Lift the head. The more you do it, the better it is. That's the thing you taught me, Jake.
Exactly. The only thing here I see is looking up. If Haslett starts looking up, his chest is going to push into his opponents and help flatten the shoulders out. It's going to make a quick pin. It also is going to compress the lungs, make it a lot harder for the
breathing.
For breathing.
Oh, close.
It's a shame. It's a shame. We're going to the second period. This is going to be a 2-minute period. Haslett should be leading 5-0. DeWitt now has a choice. They're going to choose neutral. Now neutral, on their feet, okay? Looking for the takedown. Other choices are the down and the top position. We'll get to those later as they come up. We'll explain.
A nice shock right there. He has him in a front headlock again. Perfect.
Wow. I love to see pins. When I wrestled myself, I was more. I had the lung capacity and the strength to go 6 minutes, and I wasn't afraid of it. And it's a little bit better to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
And this is good to see. Good to see these young wrestlers going for the pin. Getting off the mat, getting the points.
If you can make it to the third period, normally it's a lot easier to pin the guy. They're a lot less tired.
Exactly. Here you're going to see, again, Haslett working to get his legs back. He's just going to grab and throw DeWitt right by. Good. He lowered his weight before he came in for the kind of almost tackle.
Yep.
And just smeared his guys into the mat, and there you see the pin call. Next up, 160 pounds, we got J.P. Versvelt and Jacob Aker. As I suspected. For the JV matches, we're getting 1 minute long first period. make it a little bit quicker.
Yep.
Varsity will be all 2-minute-long periods.
30-second overtime.
Describe to me what you see here, Pete. With those guys the way they were tied up.
It looks pretty even. They need to start getting in deeper, setting up for shots. Right now, I'd almost say he should bail out and try and get back up to his base.
Good. It's okay to bail. And when they started on their feet, they were real kind of just head-to-head, butting in there. It seemed you got probably 2 real young guys, not knowing a whole lot, maybe even their first year wrestling. And instead of turning the corner when they were on their feet, kind of getting into position, they were kind of squaring off toe-to-toe. Riding, nothing serious. Going for a little wrist control, which if I have a hold of your wrist, you can't do a whole lot. I'm controlling you, and DeWitt doing a decent job with that. Haslett, now we're going to choose a down position. You can see here, the middle, we got 2 rings. The first ring has a square in the middle around that H. His hands are going to be in front of the line. His knees are going to be behind the line. DeWitt is going to cover. Hand is going to cover the elbow, the other on the stomach. 2 knees down on the ground behind him.
Looks like he's trying for a roll. Oh, if he stands up, he's out.
And the down position, it's usually a favorite because, it's easier to kind of escape than to hold somebody down.
Yep, easier to get more points.
You really got to work because you can get not only 1 point for an escape, which if the Haslett wrestler were to get up and completely clear away back to his feet, that's 1 point for an escape. From there, he can go for a 2-point takedown, or he can go from here and reverse to the top position, and that's going to give him 2 points for a reversal.
He needs to stand up, or he's going to get bundled up right here.
He is getting bundled up. DeWitt doing a decent job with that. He needs to stretch out the Haslett wrestler if he wants to turn him. Well, just inexperience. See how he's staying up and around the head? Instead, he should be up underneath the arms looking for the turn. He can then be looking for a half Nelson.
Right now, he doesn't have any, the DeWitt guy doesn't really have anything right now. He just has a guy needs to stand up.
Stand up and get away. You see he's kind of flirting with a half Nelson there across the body.
Needs to look away.
Haslett just kind of dangling the head, and that's all right because he's standing up, as you said. He's going to keep coming up, and if he keeps standing up, DeWitt's not going to be able to hang on. But if he stays
that's never reached
here,
back.
He's going to get turned to his back. There you go.
Reaching back is something that feels really natural, but you just need to not do it.
Not do it. It's bad news. Bad news there if you're reaching back, because if you reach back, you're exposing your back to the mat. And you see Haslett getting pinned. So 2 out of 3 JV matches, Haslett's won by pin. DeWitt, however, coming through at the 160-pound JV match with a pin.
All pins so far, so.
Decent match.
Just if you had it, you just don't reach back, and you would have.
Here you see he reached back again, kind of reaching back for that head, and found himself in trouble. DeWitt covered, tried to bridge and roll through, just not enough strength there. And that's, I'm assuming we got a freshman here, both boys freshmen, and what can you say? Nobody expects a lot when you're a freshman. That's the point of coming out for the team.
For now, we have 189 weight, Zach McCombs and Richard Love.
McCombs, I would have to say Zachary. I helped coach him last year in 8th grade. He's a big kid. Sounds like he's been working hard. I talked to Coach Bird, and
there, the headlock. It's a very common move you see in JV wrestling.
Exactly, straight.
Easy to counter, but a lot of people get pinned in it, right? There's 2 points for Haslett.
Hey, good. That was a good counter to the headlock. He kept himself out of there. Now to keep this point, see, he's under the arm, which is really good. He needs to circle all the way around and get his hand in the crotch. It sounds a little awkward, but putting that hand in between the legs, he has an ankle which he can grab, and it's really going to help keep control. See, by staying in the front, DeWitt is able to come around and get a hold of a leg for a reversal. Zach luckily there, hanging on.
He's up 3-2.
End of the first period. Haslett's choice.
Haslett chooses neutral.
This is a good choice for Zach. He's strong in his upper body and a little less confident, I think, maybe on the bottom from what I have seen in the past with working with him. And I think this was a smart choice. He can stay here, maybe overpower in the upper body strength, the DeWitt wrestler, who is younger, a little heavier in the weight, and maybe not as much muscle. We'll see. We'll see how this pans out.
He needs to get more in a stance, or he might find himself being caught in something unsuspecting.
Why don't you explain the stance a little bit?
Right now, it's the lower the better. You know, there's some people have low stance, but it looks almost like a praying mantis, and it's no good. Your center of balance is hard, easy for you to be taken down. Right there, Zach just got taken down and stood back up quick, which is always good. He has his one-point escape.
Yep. See how he turned in? He got that arm underneath. Now, as you said, he's standing straight up. That's not quite a stance. He needs to bend at the knees, not bend over at the waist to get lower. This is going to lower his upper body for his arms to protect the legs, lower his weight underneath the DeWitt opponent, and either attempt a shot or what seems to be his forte here, a throw. He's going to attempt to shuck him by.
Headlock, he needs to.
DeWitt is really sticking with that headlock. However, Haslett did a great job of standing up and not letting him finish.
There's a single leg, but I guess Haslett looks like if he can get behind him, he gets 2 points for a takedown. And
that was good.
He has him in a half Nelson.
Yep, that was good. That was almost a wizard roll through, which, interestingly enough, it's a little more experienced move. Zach did a good job. It's impressive to see him do that. Again, though, he's out of position, hanging around the head too early without getting control. Here we are, out of bounds. Going back neutral. They are on their feet. We got an exciting match. It's 5-4. Haslett with the advantage by 1 point.
Looks like it's going to go right down to the end. Second period with the score 5-4 in favor of Zach Haslett.
I'm seeing good things. I'm impressed with Zach's wrestling skills from a year ago.
The third period's a lot of times when Haslett does better than most teams because they're in better shape. They condition harder, and you can see them still do their moves correctly and swiftly while their teams are out of breath and kind of lazy almost.
All right, what we just saw there was a caution. That is a warning. Okay, what happened was Zach came down to cover and he plopped his weight right onto the DeWitt wrestler. What he needs to do is come down to his knees, hand to the elbow, hand around the waist. He came down, put his hands on the back of the DeWitt wrestler, then plopped on. That's a caution. It's legal in Indiana, however, if you didn't know this, but Michigan, not okay. Here, DeWitt with the turn in, sit out and turn in to a single leg. Zach looking to just muscle him over. We'll see how that goes.
Has a chicken wing in. He can keep on turning him. Right there, he has him on his back.
This is good positioning here. If I were Zach, as you see the DeWitt wrestler's elbow on the mat here, I would scoop that. I would scoop that with the arm, and that was going to help Zach to expose the shoulders better and go for the pin. And then with that shoulder lifted, he can walk the head and drive the shoulders in the mat. Here you see the DeWitt wrestler doing a good job of hanging on to Zach's foot, locking it up. His hips close to Zach's, it's going to help him allow his weight to be rolled over.
Zach needs to get perpendicular to him. It's always the best position, and it looks like his grip is almost slipping. Right now it almost just try and get behind him and start over.
There's what I was talking about. With his hips so close, he was able to complete the wall through. It's going to be 2 points reversal. We got a score of 8-6. Haslett still up by 2 with 34 seconds on the clock.
Zach
he's
looks
threatening
like
to
he's
escape.
Both wrestlers look to be pretty tired right now. He needs to watch out for the headlock late. There's 2 points. If he can just ride him out for the last 15 seconds, he'll have it won.
It's 11-6. That's 3 quick points for Zach McCombs. 1 point for the escape. Shucked off the headlock. DeWitt staying true to that headlock. Zach with a takedown, and now threatening to turn and gets a near fall. That's the match. Winning by a minor decision, which if we were on a varsity match would be 3 team points. It was 11-6. It would be 3 team points for Haslett.
Haslett and DeWitt wrestled twice last year. Haslett winning both times.
Twice last year.
Yep, they wrestled in the district finals. No, actually it was first round of the districts, and Haslett came away with a close one. DeWitt was talking that they were going to come back and beat Haslett after Haslett beating them earlier in the year, but in the past years there's been some pretty close matches.
Some really close matches, and
few of them deciding for league title. Both former ICL teams, now in the CAAC 3. Right now we have Brian Ponzalik and Mike Nowak wrestling.
Here we go, coming back to the center here. It's 215 pounds. It's the second to the heaviest of weights. Most anybody's going to weigh is going to be 275 pounds. And Donald Onwaller, the heavyweight for Haslett, weighed in yesterday at 232 pounds, which is big because Donald last year at this time was weighing 260 pounds. He's lost a lot of weight.
Put on some muscle.
Put on the muscle, and he's been doing a good job coming up for his senior year.
There you see a nice single leg shot. He needs to get in deep and finish it. Or there you see DeWitt with getting around and behind him and getting 2 points.
It was a good sprawl. He really he was ready for the Haslett wrestler coming in, got his legs back, and got in a position, able to get the takedown. However, Haslett getting the escape, 2-1 at the end of the first period. It's a pretty fast-paced match for this heavy of a weight class.
Yep, normally you see mostly throws, not single legs or double legs or any type of shot. It's mostly all upper body. But looks like these two guys are going right at it.
Hey, they're going right for it. And it's promising for Haslett to have a nice heavyweight. And I'm assuming we got a freshman again here. A lot of freshmen for Haslett. And if this kid sticks with it by his senior year, he's going to be tough, and he's going to be a great heavyweight.
Yep.
Getting the takedown.
Right there, smart move, and getting out of bounds before he could get on his back.
It was a good block. The DeWitt wrestler went for a stand-up. Haslett blocking with a good grab of the ankle, not allowing that knee to come all the way up.
Looks like he's going to try and drag him back, but you make sure when you're doing that not to pull him on top of yourself like that.
And that's going to allow the reversal.
Common mistake.
It's gonna bring the match to DeWitt's advantage. 4-3. Haslett turned into their back. Wow, that was a quick pin call. Quick. After with a minute and 7 seconds left in the second period, Haslett finishing off their JV matches, getting pinned. However, they won 3 out of 5. We had 2 pins for Haslett, win by a minor decision, 2 pins for DeWitt, and that'll send them to the locker room before we bring out the varsity wrestlers. Here's the replay. Bam, there you see he just dropped all his weight right to his back.
Yep, and not much you can do there,
It's a good pin call. Quick, but Haslett did flatten all the way out on their back. And
I believe both Haslett and DeWitt have young teams. DeWitt's star would be Casey Curtis. He won 215 last year, won all states. Haslett's star has Donald Onweiler. He qualified for regionals. Thomas McCormick, he's had some tough matches in districts, but he's a very fine wrestler.
he's, in my opinion, Thomas is very much worthy of state qualifying. He's got a lot of experience. He's wrestled real hard, and I've seen him wrestle a lot of hard kids. Wrestled with him myself, and he's done a great job. So it should be a good year for him if he stays healthy, stays strong, keeps his weight under control.
And his older brother, Larry McCormick, is also a pretty fine wrestler. He wrestled in middle school, and then his junior year of high school, he came back. And last year, he wrestled a lot of stronger, more guys with a lot more years on him in terms of wrestling, and he pulled out about 500, which is not bad.
Not bad at all, because as you said, he was wrestling up a lot. He was giving up a lot of pounds. And bring it on, baby. Eye of the Tiger. Here comes your Haslett Vikings. The classic run the mat warm-up. Leading the way, senior Thomas McCormick.
Junior.
Junior?
Yep.
Junior, you got to be kidding me.
Yep, he still has another year left.
Seems like he's been around for a
sophomore
long time.
Nick Benton. I hear he's doing pretty well this year. Last year, he's still learning stuff, but this year he's stepping it up. Last year he had a few upsets, and this year it looked to be only people upsetting him would be the only thing. He's gonna be as good as anyone out there.
Yeah, you better believe it. So let's get back to that. Leading the way was Thomas Jr. Good golly. I think that boy would have graduated by now. It seems like he's been around forever. That's exciting that he's got a whole nother year of eligibility left. Donald Onweiler, big senior. Larry McCormick, senior.
Yep.
And
Adam Lott, senior.
it's going to be hopefully a good year for Adam. He's been working hard all 4 years. Worked with him myself, trying to help out. Let's break for our national anthem. Ho, ho, and a holly, hurry, ho. That was beautiful.
I know back when I used to wrestle, that song probably got me my blood pumping more than about any other song, because that's when it starts, right there, once you hear that.
I get shivers. I got goosebumps, Pete. Look at the goosebumps.
They're popping out.
Goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen. Haslett wrestlers lining up on the edge of the mat. It's about time to wrestle, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get down to business.
112 pounds for...
What weight are we starting at today, Jake?
We're going to be starting at 145 pounds. Here you see, as they bring out each weight, introducing the wrestlers. The first from 103 pounds all the way till 135 pounds. Haslett has voids. They have no wrestlers, none whatsoever. And
it always hurts.
That's 6 points you're giving up
per wrestler.
It's 6 points, 16 points. So Haslett is an individual. Wrestling is an individual sport on a mat, but it also is all about the team too, because your individual mat goes towards how the team does. For a pin, that's 6 teams' points, or a void is 16 points. A technical fall is winning by 15 points. They'll stop the match as a mercy rule. And that's 5 points. A major decision, which is winning by more than 8 or more, that's 4 points. And a minor decision is winning by 7 or less, that's 3 team points.
Some DeWitt wrestlers they kind of had a late start because they made it to the state finals in football, and I assume some of them are football players, but by now they should be in wrestling shape.
There's Casey Curtis. Like we said, he was the state champ last year, 215 pounds. He's a good guy. He's a good wrestler. He goes out there full bore.
He has a perfect body for a wrestler. He's short, has a low center of gravity. He will hard to take down. We watched him wrestle a tough match a couple years ago to TJ Lindemann back when he didn't know as much about wrestling, and it was a close match, but TJ just didn't have enough size. But
it's rough, and again, TJ wrestling up a weight. I've seen Casey himself wrestle up a weight against Haslett's state champ, Dave McManaman.
That was a pretty intense match. It was right here in front of us, and I believe it was the only match I've ever saw where a contestant threw up.
I was commentating that match. I was here, like I am now, behind the mic, and Casey got himself so wound up, he vomited twice. But
Haslett came out with a win in that match. That was an undefeated season. So
145 pounds, Rourke Strittmatter, and Kyle Yahaz.
Rourke's lost about 50 pounds since last year. Last year coming into wrestling season, he weighed about 190, and by the end of the wrestling season last year, he was down to 170. He works hard.
It's impressive to see how much weight he's lost. And coming in as a freshman, the only reason he came out is because one of his buddies said, "Why don't you come and wrestle?" I'm going to do it. Why not?
He's a junior this year.
Junior this year, so his sophomore
last year. Yep.
So one of his friends, Al, said, "Why don't you come on out and wrestle with me?" And Rourke said, "Okay."
He just pulled the DeWitt wrestler right on top of him. He needs to watch out for that, but he has a free move right now because the DeWitt wrestler has locked hands, so he can do whatever he wants, and he can only gain points. It'd be like an offsides in football. You have a free play.
Free play. Locked hands, illegal move. It's going to be 1 point the first time, maybe even the second time, and then 2 points after that. And then if you lock your hands too many times, you lose the match. You can downright lose the match for yourself just by locking your hands.
Right there, he needs to look away. He needs to get back up in the stance. DeWitt wrestler is trying to bundle him, but Rourke right there showing he's not ready. Right there with the reversal, he has him on his back.
Impressive.
Right there's a pin.
Wow.
What a change of events.
Wow, Pete Datema, can you believe that?
Booyah, Grandma.
Booyah, that's the Booyah Grandma moment of the match. We can all go home now. I mean, the Booyah Grandma moment has happened. Rourke, staying strong.
Out of nowhere. That's why you never give up.
Staying strong. Really strong bridge off his neck. That's a tough move, man. That takes a lot of strength in your neck to bridge through. DeWitt wrestler out of
right
position.
Right here, he's DeWitt wrestler a little high, and then.
And what happened is the DeWitt wrestler stayed high, and when he came through, Rourke was able to bridge and come all the way through. Look at that! Look at that neck strength. Impressive, Rourke.
Very impressive.
I'm happy with that. And what happened was the DeWitt wrestler just bottomed out before he had a chance to get his back up, and the ref made the pin call.
Right here looks like we have two pretty darn strong wrestlers. Nick Benton from Haslett. I know I've wrestled him a few times, and he has quite a bit of strength. He likes to do quite a few throws, even though he's a low weight. He has quite a bit of upper body strength in that. I know last year was his strength.
This is 160 pounds. Haslett tied with DeWitt on the team score 6-6 as they forfeited 152 pounds to David Sands. Nick Benton and Mike Giveron.
Looks like they might have been tapping each other on the heads a little too hard. And they need to start wrestling, not just, playing around with each other.
It's a bunch of baloney, in my opinion. The eye poking, the eye tapping right in the face. There's so many other things that you can do instead. And if you were to get a close-up of Nick Benton's face, one of his eyes is so disgustingly bloodshot from the same thing right there happening, getting poked in the eye.
Right there is a nice setup by Nick, but he didn't quite. DeWitt wrestler is quick to get back into his stance.
Again, another smart move. What's happening is DeWitt was going for a drag. Here you go, setting it up with the 2-on-1 wrist control, and he tries to drag him by. However, Nick re-dragged him.
It looks as if these two wrestlers are just trying to kind of see how see how strong each other are, and then testing each other out. Right there, Nick Benton just got 1 point. The DeWitt wrestler had a caution before, and now he has 1 point for tapping Nick in the head too hard.
Too much. It's just silly.
Right there, Nick Benton has 2 points. He's trying to get on his back, but still gets. Keeps the 2 points.
That was good weight management, is what we're going to call that. He hung on to the takedown and was able to stay behind the DeWitt wrestler. It was a good, clean first period for Benton. Good, clean first period. He stayed where he needed to be. He stayed under control and got the takedown, which is what the first period's about. You need to get the takedown, get the points on the board. Now he's up 3-1.
And he's in the down position right now. He needs to think of a couple moves right before the whistle blows. And when the whistle blows, he does as many moves as possible as he can. Right there, he looks like he has 2 points. Oh, almost 2 points. Once he gets behind him, he can have 2 points.
Even here, he's not guaranteed a 1 point reversal. The DeWitt wrestler still has control of the leg, which means he can still work his way back around and regain control. So he hasn't fully lost it. So there's still no points.
Right there, he's in a single leg, which is, oh, there's Nick Benton. He has him on his back, and he has 2 points. Ref's counting. As a smart move by Nick, he realized he was up high, and so he went back just to get control, and he's going to try and work back into him.
It was a good move. He was a whizzer, and he just wrenched that arm, threw it right over the top, and got the reversal and tacked on a few back points.
He's up 8-1 right now. It's a pretty comfortable lead, but 5 points can happen pretty darn quickly, so don't count anyone out of this match yet.
Okay, you see Benton looking for the crossface, working the wrist control. He needs to keep that wrist. Keep that wrist and break that knee.
Right there looks like Nick had his forearm too far up in the face. Needs to make sure it doesn't hit the eyes, I believe.
So that was a point for DeWitt. These two guys are getting a little rough. There's a good following there by Benton, sticking with this guy.
He needs to watch his weight, right here. He kind of got his weight up too far up on his opponent, and he got an escape.
A good note. He gave up the escape, but he didn't give up the reversal and the back points. If he would have tried to force the issue and stuck with it, he could have easily been on his back there. So Benton did a good job of just pushing off and saying, okay, I'll give you this, let's go again. I'll take you on your feet.
The DeWitt wrestler is choosing the down position. That was a pretty quick move by the DeWitt wrestler. You can see he's practiced that. And
there's a little Granby action, I do believe. Little Granby action. No back points, Nick. You know, again, in that kind of position, you need to, if you're not quite there, bail and go back to square one. You're still up by 3. It's 8-5.
Yep, you need to work back to your base and try and stand up or just get back up to neutral position. Maybe a reverse.
Benton still somewhat in control of the match. Third period, you got 1 minute and 24 seconds left. He needs to stay smart, get his head off the mat, get a wrist, and go for a stand-up.
And staying in that down position in the third period sometimes is very tiring. You know, it can wear you down quicker than a rabbit. Right there, Nick almost had his 2-point reversal, but the DeWitt wrestler hung on, and no points were rewarded to each other.
All right, Pete, watch this. The DeWitt wrestler has both his toes in the mat. Okay, if his knees slip out, he's going to call him out. Okay, they're going to bring him off the mat. That was a cradle, okay? Benton was in what is called the cradle. The DeWitt wrestler wanted to come and roll him through to put him on his back. However, he didn't have the mat space to do it. So he either needed to work Benton around to roll him through or hang in there and look for something else.
Looks like Nick been trying this. He got it in the first period, and he almost had it in the third period, but right there he gets a 1-point escape. He's up by 4 with 30 seconds left. Right now the DeWitt wrestler almost needs to try and throw him. That's probably what we'll start trying to see, desperate moves.
He needs a 5-pointer to win. It's 9-4, 20 seconds, less than 17, 16.
Nick needs to go for the shot. That's always a way where he won't get thrown. It's really hard. He just needs to knock on his back. Right there, it's not good.
Here's your 5-pointer, ladies and gentlemen. What happened was Nick Benton went for the move that you see Coach Kevin Fairich in the back showed him. It's a little, as he calls it, the circus move from the Wizard throwing him over. It's real dangerous in that position. Nick, instead of giving up the 2, winning the match, gave up the 5 and lost it. And what can you say? Young wrestler, poor decision.
Crazy things can always happen in the last 5 seconds.
There's nothing wrong with that. That was a heck of a match by Benton. Impressive finish by the DeWitt wrestler. He stayed in there. What can you say other than you can get called for it, but I mean stall. You know, hang in there, make it look like you're doing something, and maybe not doing something.
Yep,
safe.
and always be the aggressor. Never stand back. You know, either try if you with a few seconds left, take a shot. You know, it's really hard to get the.
You can be shooting and still staying safe.
Bro, there's Shoes Thomas.
Here you saw Benton in there. This is the Whizzer, okay, with the arm under the elbow.
And he
trying to block the single leg, and as he tried to throw it over and turn the DeWitt wrestler to his back. Did it once. Okay, that's shame on you once. If that happens to DeWitt wrestler, shame on you twice.
Thomas looks to be pretty good this year. He has his old school shoes and old school headgear. He found the wrestling shoes last year. They were back in the closet in the wrestling room, and he found them to be lucky. Won a few matches.
All right.
So
here you see just this is where you need to be. This is a great level of wrestling here. Got the takedown. You got a great armbar and extremely aggressive. Okay, Thomas with the armbar. Would you saw he brought that arm up onto the back, and
his shoulder looks to be a little irritated, but I bet he'll finish the match. He's a tough wrestler. He probably just a stinger.
10 seconds off the clock.
okay, so getting back to that armbar, Thomas working the armbar, which was he brought the arm up onto the back. And he's going to stretch that out, and the DeWitt wrestler either has his arm pulled off or returns to his back. Is basically how it works. It's a great move. One of my personal favorites. Worked on that one with Thomas, I'm sure, as of Bill Burke from last year. Really enjoyed that move.
Thomas' strong position is a neutral position. He reminds me a lot of Bill Burke. He can wrestle anywhere, but his favorite is neutral position. Thomas's shoulders hurting him, but we'll see what happens.
Thomas is strong from the neutral position. You see that clean double leg, that's where he needs to be. You're going to see him just turn the DeWitt wrestler loose for a 1-point escape and then take up 2 points. What's going to happen is you're going to slowly, point by point, build up to the 15-point technical fall.
Thomas is going to be looking for a pin here, I would assume. It looks like his shoulder's bothering him. He just wants to get this match over with as quick as he can. See Thomas switching sides, so don't know what's ever going to happen. Don't know what to expect right there. He goes with the drag back.
Smooth moves by Thomas. Staying behind the DeWitt wrestler, okay? Under the arms until then he has the space to work.
He has a chicken wing in, which is an excellent move. He's getting some back points right now.
Now what he needs to do now is come back into the DeWitt wrestler with his... Here you see that shoulder is really bothering him. I'd like to know what happened to that because he was really in close for a pin position. However, it is going to apply torque to not only the DeWitt wrestler, but to Thomas. And if there's any weakness in that upper body, it's gonna bring it out, and you're gonna see it here in his shoulders. He's really favoring that.
I've saw Thomas wrestle through quite a few injuries. I've saw him wrestle with a concussion before. I believe he'll try and finish out this match unless it gets really bad.
Strong wrestler. You can't give him enough credit for.
A lot of it's in its head.
For working hard, and if he can stay mentally strong, I think he can finish this match out. He's got the lead. He just needs to kind of hang with this.
Yep. The only thing that might hurt Thomas is injury time. Do you remember how much time they have?
I think you get 3 minutes total. 3 minutes injury and blood time. 2 separate things. And each time you need to take that, they go there. Good clean takedown.
You may think 3 minutes of blood time is a lot, but I've saw some bloody noses go for a long time.
Sitting to my right in the bleachers is a man by the name of Josh Corson, senior this year. I have coached him on the side of the mat. And I want to say this ref was even the ref of that match. And he used all 3 minutes of his blood time. 3 minutes of his blood time. And it was down to the last second.
Right there, you just saw Thomas use an optional start, which is you have to show the ref before you can do it, but you put a diamond, you put it on his back. It's normally to release the wrestler so he can get his 2 takedown points. Thomas looks like he's going for a tech right here. Looks to be his plan. He's going to see him probably release him unless he has a good position, try and get him on his back.
What I would like to see is I know for a fact, I know that Thomas can get the technical fall. I know he can take this kid down anytime, any place. It's a given. That's his specialty, is being on his feet. It's been that way since he started in high school. I'd like to see him for the team's sake go for the pin and really turn this wrestle. It's only a point difference team point wise, but Haslett is giving up so many team points.
Right there, he looks like he has a pin.
If he's going to help the team out to even think about beating DeWitt tonight, he needs this pin. There's a minute and 3 seconds on the clock.
Plenty of time. Right there, he has it.
I'm really happy to see that.
Outstanding performance by Thomas McCormick.
I'm really happy
Even
to
with
see
his
that
injured
pin.
arm, he sticks it out.
It was a good solid performance. The other thought of the let him up, take him down is if the shoulder's hurting, it's going to take a little strength from the upper body to turn a wrestler, is to look for that takedown and have the DeWitt wrestler make an oops and exposing his back right off the takedown where it's going to be a quicker cover and then get the takedown. So that's another strategy or a reason for that strategy. Here you see clean double leg, up, boom, down to the back.
When you see a really
Here
good
you're going to
wrestler,
see half
right
Nelson.
there,
There you
half
go.
Nelson. It's a perfect move.
It's great. Double leg to the half. And now it looks like he finishes off with a reverse half Nelson.
Right here we
Push the
have
head.
Eric Hadley and Richard Shinnick.
This is a 189 pounds.
Eric Hadley had 2 older brothers. One of his older brothers, J.P. Hilker. Nope, never mind, different person.
We saw a Hilker brother at 135 pounds from the JV match.
Yep, that's who I was thinking. Looks like he needs to get in, no points were awarded to either team right there.
It was a good call by the ref. It was giving him the time to thoroughly finish the takedown. And Haslett now needs to stand up.
Stand up or get a leg or something, right? You just can't let him get those 2 points.
Oh, and he gave him the 2. I'm surprised he gave him it quick, even after how he did it before.
But a nice quick escape.
So we're looking at the 2-1, minute left in the first period. Again, this is 189 pounds. Thomas McCormick was wrestling at 171. We started at 145 pounds. They flip a coin, draw out of a hat, whatever, and choose randomly where the weights start now.
Right there was a nice single leg right to his back.
That was great.
He needs to look up. Right there's a pin. Perfect. A picture perfect move. Ankle pick to a pin.
I love an ankle pick. Single legs, ankle picks.
Not very many teams do it. It's there though if you look for it.
That's my favorite move from the neutral. Favorite takedown. Or favorite shot. It was great. As you're gonna see.
As you can see, his pulls his weight forward, so his foot steps out, and then he just picks up the ankle, and
the weight
right
was,
there went right to his back.
The weight was planted on the foot that we picked, and once that weight was planted, he came forward and slapped the back of the knee, so it stopped him from being able to step backwards. Lost his balance. Boom, flat to his back.
Right here, Larry McCormick against Casey Curtis. As we mentioned, Casey Curtis won states last year, but I think Larry's going to make this match closer than most people think. He has a big heart. He's strong. He gets extremely into it. He'll never give up. You know.
Good. That's great.
He's
Larry.
making Casey work for
I like to see Larry just going full bore because what do you got to lose? Everybody's
Yeah,
telling you, this kid's state champ, this kid's state champ. He's at the same weight as he was last year for the state, that he won the state championship at. It always makes it easier to come back and have a potential repeat.
Casey Curtis is choosing the optional start. No, not the optional,
Yep.
but
Optional start.
Yep.
It's also a freestyle move. Freestyle. This is collegiate style
Right
wrestling.
here, you
freestyle
can
is a
see
little bit different.
Casey Curtis, kind of waiting for Larry to attack. That's some wrestlers do that. They won't attack, but it looks like Larry's not afraid of him at all.
I think also you're going to see here, Casey's going to wait for Larry to slow down a bit and make a mistake.
Tire out.
By
getting
Larry's excited.
Oh, right there. Very experienced wrestler move right there. He gets just 2 arms and he has him on his back. It's
the move is as the wrestler comes underneath you, they reach around your leg. If you're in position, you can throw them in a half Nelson and hip into them. It's going to pop their rear end up, flatten their shoulders to the mat, and
right here, Casey has Larry on his back, and there's a pin. I thought Larry wrestled very hard. He just got caught. Sometimes it happens.
Can't fault Larry. Can't fault him in that. It was a good move by Casey to turn him to begin with, and then Casey did a good job of keeping him on his back once he had him there.
Right there, you watch Larry throw his headgear. You better watch out for that. You can be penalized team points.
And if it comes down to it, Pete, if we come down to a tie, that is one of the tiebreakers, is penalty points against your team.
Yep.
And so you wouldn't want to be the cause of that if it comes down to a tiebreaker.
Right here, we're going to see the big Don Onweller.
Big Don. It doesn't really happen just like 2 Gila Monsters doesn't happen, but you could have a double Booyah Grandma moment just for Don.
Very quick. Got to watch out for the headlock.
Just for Don if he so chooses to bring it out.
You can
Don
see likes to work the head.
He does. Don, if you didn't know, Pete, he was the start of the Booyah Grandma moments here from Haslett Wrestling. From the early on matches that I commentated.
A couple years ago.
I
believe I remember that.
Don brought out the Booyah Grandma, so we already had the Booyah Grandma moment of the night, and it was well deserved. Rourke at 145 pounds starting the night off with a great pin. Great pin.
You never know what to expect out of Don. He's pretty quick for as big as he is, and he can pull some pretty nice moves.
So right there, as you saw, Don's right arm was around and had the DeWitt wrestler's head encircled, and he had a hold of the arm at the armpit. Don needed to let go with his left hand when he had the DeWitt wrestler bent over like that and slapped that right leg, and that's going to bring him down.
Yep. Looks as Don's being the aggressor. I believe last year Don wrestled the same kid, and I believe he beat him.
He did. He's wrestled this kid numerous times.
I believe their most famous match would be 2 years ago, where they had to take a break because they weren't in shape.
I do remember that. It was an interesting match.
I'd have to believe that Don is in a lot better shape this year. He's lost 30 pounds, and he's been wrestling
throughout the summer, throughout the fall, and now into wrestling season. You hear the DeWitt coach telling him, stay off the head. Don is known for his headlocks. He's known for upper body work.
Right there, he
wants to stay to the wrists. Don is tying up. He's got his ear to the DeWitt wrestler's ear, not where he needs to be. He needs to turn his forehead in to the DeWitt wrestler's temple. That's going to give him a good angle on his single leg or duck under, shuck, things of that nature. Put him in good position.
Don, all his first 2 years of wrestling, his freshman and sophomore year, worked with a lot by a kid named Dave McManaman. He won a state championship his senior year, and so Don has practiced with some good wrestlers. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Don made it to states this year.
Regional qualifier last year, man. That's impressive.
Last year he started off the season a little slow, but in the end he stepped it up and really started to wrestle hard and saw what he can do. He made it.
That's great, Donald. That was a great escape. Gonna be the first points of this match, and we're in the second period already. Don getting the escape. It was good. He kept his balance, and when the time was there, stayed on his feet and kept his feet moving. Something I drilled into that boy's head for a while. Was keeping his feet moving when he was working for the escape. And he did a good job of it there.
In heavyweight matches, you may think that it's going to end up 1-0, but I expect a lot of action to happen in the next 4 minutes.
It's good head control by Donald. He needs to make something out of it here. He needs to 1-2, give him a pop and another pop, and then go for his goodness. Go for that arm drag. Try to get a hold of that wrist.
It almost looks as if the wrestler's trying to avoid him. He's not really. He keeps on stepping back.
He is, and you know he's going to get called for stalling if he stays with it too long.
Oh, right there. Donald got called for it.
Wow.
Didn't quite expect that, but I guess.
I'm dumbfounded. I think he must have forgot which wristband he was looking at because Donald there working for the move and the drags. DeWitt wrestler just backing up, staying out there. Donald definitely being the aggressor, in my opinion.
See Donald running back to starting position. It's always a good thing. Kind of scares your opponent. I don't know. The DeWitt wrestler is running towards the trash can or something. I don't know why, but ref told him he couldn't.
There's no stake over there. Donald's the only meat on that map, so he needs to get to it.
Donald needs to go back in there. He needs to keep on working.
I'll tell you, Pete, if I didn't have this headset on, Donald would be getting a piece of my mind right now. I'd be hooting and hollering.
He's not wrestling. He needs to start wrestling. He needs to go for a move. He's just
Come on! Come on!
He needs to set him up more.
Now go, Donald. Donald, let's go!
1.6 seconds left.
1-1.
Right here, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone. It's DeWitt's choice. He's in the down position. That's a smart move.
Hey, Pete, get on his case. Get yelling at him.
Donald has a single leg right here. He needs to hold on to it.
We got a minute and 53 seconds left. We're tied 1-1 in the third period. Team score, Haslett leading by 3, 18-15. Donald now needs to just drive this DeWitt wrestler over.
Oh, right here. Donald is, now he needs a takedown. There's no, there's no excuse. He needs to start working for it. Right there, you see the headlock? Doesn't quite pull it through.
No, I don't want to see it. Come on, Donald, get after him. Donald has no time to lose. He's down by 1.
Both wrestlers look to be a little tired. They're almost. I'd almost have to call both for stalling. You know, they're not. Neither one are going for anything. Right there's Donald. He's going for that single.
Now he needs to finish this.
He's getting behind him. Nice try by Donald, but
there's the that took a long time for that stalling call. I'm a little upset about that myself, but there's finally stalling against the DeWitt wrestler. Donald with a shot, the single leg, not able to finish. We're down to a minute left to go.
6 minutes doesn't seem as long, but when you're on the wrestling mat, it seems like for an eternity. It's probably the hardest 6 minutes, hardest 6 minute workout possible. There, Donald has a
don't
leg.
stop, Donald.
He needs to not get taken down right there. Oh, no. Donald needs to roll.
He's got 40 seconds to make up 3
He
points.
needs to get on his back. He needs an escape and a takedown.
Donald working the sidelines, coming back for a fresh start. He's got 30 seconds to
Right
make
here
up 3-point deficit.
With a quick move, I believe he can get out pretty easily. I see there's a caution on the DeWitt wrestler. He's tired. He's getting lazy.
He needs to make his move if he's going to go.
Oh.
Oh!
There's her escape, and now
Now
he's a
go,
takedown.
Donald. That's 1
Needs
point.
a takedown. It's go time right
2
now.
left.
As you saw, a lot of things can happen in 15 seconds. You saw Nick Ben's
Donald,
match.
let's go!
Right here, he needs to go for it. He needs to stop standing around.
Let's go! We got 7 seconds. 4-2. Haslett is down.
Right there's your shot by Donald. He needs to get his head up and drive through it.
Good
Right there.
lordy.
Looks like it's a close match.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It was a good heavyweight match. Donald not able to come through at the end, losing 4-2.
Can never quite get his setup to work here.
112 pounds, Jerry Nelson, DeWitt.
Right here you can see a lot of voids for Haslett.
In all reality, we have 1 match left.
Adam Lott, Sr.
And Tony Villarreal.
At 119 pounds,
That's going to be at 140 pounds. Both teams didn't have 103 pounders, but 112, 119, 125, 130, and 135 pounds all go to DeWitt.
I believe that was the first match that was not a pin so far tonight.
Other than the JV match, I do believe you are right.
135 pounds, DeWitt, Mark Nelson. Haslett is void. Our last match of the evening at 140 pounds from DeWitt, Tony Villarreal, and for Haslett, Adam Lott.
There you see the send-off. Good old butt smack. That's the get her done. A lot coming onto the mat. Looking fit. If he can keep his head in the game, stay focused, he should look pretty good.
Attack, yep.
Should look pretty good.
I know Adam, and I know he'll be in good enough shape. He can last the whole 6 minutes and still have some to give.
Yep, you better believe it. He's always had something to give afterwards. And it's if he can get his head in the game, he's got the moves. He's known him. He's drilled him a lot. If he can get his head in the game, get all the
Should be in good shape.
circuits connected right, he's going to look great. Again, you see these guys going just head to head. I mean, Lott knows that he needs to turn the corner, get his head in the temple of his opponent.
Right there. Oh, he needs to get that arm bar out. Almost 2 points, but
That move could have been, if he would have turned that corner as I spoke of and got his head in the temple, he could have been the difference right there. And that first attempt for a takedown. It snapped down to spin around. And that was a good, just kind of drove him over.
Adam needs to needs to wrestle his style. You know, he needs to be taking shots. Right here, you might see a rainbow.
He's thinking about it.
Not quite getting it, though.
I'd like to see Adam work the mat a little better, stay on the mat, because that's going to be where he's going to be most effective, is on the mat, because he can go,
Right
and wear out.
a nice deep shot.
Wear out the DeWitt wrestler. Like you said, Pete, good single leg. Come all the way around there. Cover those legs.
DeWitt wrestler has a nice whizzer in. He's going to work hard.
And it's still no points. See?
Yep. No one has control.
With that, keeping that whizzer in.
Right there's 2 points for Adam, and he has him on his back. 30 seconds left.
He needs to come all the way to the head now.
Yep, he needs to lift that arm and look up. Lift the head and squeeze.
And I would even sit and turn.
Right there's the pin.
Turn that hip to the mat. It's going to, again, elevate the head of the DeWitt wrestler and squeeze and compress his ribs and lungs. And it just, all the air comes out, the shoulders are exposed, and that makes the pin real quick and easy.
I believe Haslett won all but 2 matches that they actually wrestled, but the voids against them did not help.
What can you say? They did good showing tonight. Lot finishing it out on the pin, as you still see the replay here, working his way around behind the wrestler, and instead of bailing, the DeWitt wrestler got trapped.
Yep.
And
Adam
gets in position. Adam
perpendicular, lifts the arm, and
gets the pin.
Spin.
And there was 18 seconds left on the clock, so he finished it just in time. Haslett losing to DeWitt 48-24. Good showing, however. Everybody was a good sport tonight. It was always good to see. Everybody wrestled hard. And good things from a young team.
Yep, we look to see some good things in a couple years to come.
And I spoke with Coach Bird earlier tonight, and that's what he said. A few years with these young kids, they're going to be studs.
I believe the Michigan State coach's son is going to be in high school in a few years too, so
that'll be
I assume that he has some practice under his belt and maybe a couple of his friends. So
here you see the team coming together there. I'm going to have to just, again, come back to the Booyah Grandma moment of the night was Rourke's
strip matter,
and with a great pin for to start the evening off. And I don't know, Pete, any ideas, wrestler for the night?
I'd have to go with Thomas McCormick. He got injured, but he stuck with it. He came through, got the pin, you know. I believe I'd give Thomas. He has an ice pack on his shoulder right now, so.
Let's go back to that shot of Thomas McCormick if we can get that. I'm gonna agree with that pick. There you see his brother in the foreground there. In the background, all the way back there, you see Thomas with the shoulder getting taped the ice pack on.
Right there.
There he is. There you are, Thomas.
Hopefully it doesn't look to be too bad, but I believe I'd give Thomas. He showed some really nice setups and shots, and yeah.
The word is poise. Wrestler of the night.
That's why he's a captain.
It was a good night. Pete,
yep.
Thanks for coming out. It was good working with you again. Jake Birnbaum, voice of Haslett Wrestling, TV25 Sports. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Goodbye.